Hi everybody, I'm Alex and welcome to A Single Woman on the Loose, where I help you to get started in pet sitting. Sometimes we find ourselves in a position where we need to get out of a pet sit, either because of a family emergency or just because as we go along we realize that this is not the sit for us. It just isn't going to work. So I'm going to talk about two instances where I had to get out of a sit because of certain circumstances, and more importantly, how I went about it so I didn't have problems with my booking company. Okay, the first one happened in the United States. Now, normally I don't take any other sits in the United States except in my city because I have a booming business here. But this one came up and I thought, it's near a close relative of mine. It would be great to stay there and I could get together and have lunch or dinner or whatever. So I contacted the woman, I got the sit, and we started corresponding. She was lovely on the phone. We had several phone calls. But about a month and a half before the sit began, I got a message from her saying, now, I cleaned out a wonderful side room for you. I bought a nice blow-up bed, and you need to bring your own towels, linens, oils, spices. Now, this is a house where I'm handling 5 animals, which would have cost her over $500 a month in her area to board. She had a pool. She had a large house with quite a few bedrooms. I mean, this is not upstairs, downstairs. I'm not a servant. I was absolutely stunned. So here's how to handle something like this. Don't lose your temper or get a hold of them and say, this is ridiculous, forget it. There's no way I'm going to do this. Now, the first thing I did was to put all this information out on a Facebook page that I belong to, which consists of professional house and pet sitters. And I asked their opinion, and across the board, it was like, is she crazy? Forget it. And one woman's response just cracked me up. She said, what's next? A tent in the backyard and a garden hose for a shower? So I knew I was on the right track by being appalled by this. And by the way, I was flying to the sit. So the next thing I did was get a hold of the booking company. Now, the reason you do this is because if I had just said to the woman, forget it, I'm not coming, this is ridiculous, she would have been in a rage, called them, lambasted me, tell them how bad I am and how unprofessional I am and all that stuff. And it would have blindsided them. They were like, we don't know anything about this. What are you talking about? Because I had them bring up our correspondence on the message board through the company, I had them look at all of our correspondence and her demands, etc. And they agreed with me that this was really not only insulting, it was appalling. And they said, yeah, in this instance, we're going to let you out of this. So I was able to contact the woman then. Again, I was very polite. And I said, this is not an appropriate situation. I had no idea about these demands, and I said, I'm sorry, but it is not going to work out. Thank you very much. And of course, she was livid, called the company livid, and I was spared any problems because I had already alerted the company of what was happening. Now, the second one was international, and it was around the world. I had many phone calls with this woman. We got along great. She was lovely on the WhatsApp video conference calls, and we agreed. Now, this was about 6 months ahead of time. And so a little while down the way, I got a hold of her and I said, are you sure these dates are fine? Because I'm going to go ahead and get a plane ticket. Oh, yes, no problem. So due to the expense of getting there, I found a non-refundable ticket with those dates. So as our correspondence went on and on, I got more where I was responsible for everything. All right, she'd say to me, do it, fix it, arrange it, make it happen. As though at best I were an employee, but at worst I was a servant. And so I kind of let that go. I thought, okay, maybe that's her style. Now, she had a business she ran. I run several businesses, so we're both very busy. So all at once, I get a message from her saying, I'm having a big birthday party for my daughter who's coming from another country. So I have to change the dates, and you can start 4 days later. Well, I was thrown for a loop because, first of all, she's in one of the most expensive cities in the world. And I mean, if you can find an Airbnb or a hotel for $300, it's a steal. It's almost going to be a dump. And I thought, this is like $1,200. No, I can't do this. So I got a hold of her, asked her if she had a place I could stay. No, we don't have any place for you to stay. So I said to her on the message board, let's talk about this. Let's set a time that we can have a WhatsApp call. And there's a very short time frame of hours that we could talk because of the time difference. And she said, fine. Find a time and let me know. Okay, it was on me again. So I texted her back through the message board and said, how about this? She said, fine, no problem. So it was about 4 days later. I called and called right on the dot for over an hour. And I kept getting the message she was on another line. So after an hour, I gave up. And an hour and a half later, I get a message from her saying, I just can't imagine why we couldn't connect. She said, set another time and let me know. Well, I was absolutely appalled and I was furious because she just blew me off as though I were nothing. And also she was lying because there was a reason we couldn't connect. She was on the phone. So again, I got a hold of the booking company and I had them go through our messages. I told them what happened. And what they said was, you have a verbal contract with someone for certain dates. If either of you change those dates, it invalidates the verbal contract. So I said, fine. I got a hold of her and I said, I tried to reach you at our agreed upon time and you were on the phone the whole time. I kept getting the message you were busy on the phone. I said, so I really don't have this kind of time and I can't come in early. So I'm going to bow out of this sit. So I basically was saying in a nice way, you blew me off, then you lied to me. So this is not going to happen. And again, because I alerted the company and let them know what was going on, that they said, that's fine. The dates were changed, so it invalidates your verbal contract. And it is pretty appalling what she did. So the woman got back to me several days later like, oh, okay. You know, and the good news out of this is that now I had these dates. I had to find a place in this country so that I didn't have to change my airfare and cost me a lot of money. I found the most fabulous sit right on the ocean in that country. So it worked out beautifully. So I hope that you have an understanding now of what you need to do in order to get out of a sit when a person has changed things on you or starts treating you as though you are an employee or a servant. Keep in mind, house sitting is a reciprocal agreement between two people, and you're both responsible for that communication. Okay, so if you've had any experiences where you've had to bow out of a sit because of certain circumstances, please let me know below and tell me how you handled it. I'm sure people will be interested in hearing this. And if you have any questions about, I got this coming up, I'm not sure how to handle it, can you give me some ideas? I'll be happy to do that too. Please hit the subscribe button. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have a fabulous day.